Well, we all know that feeling. You've been up for about 8 hours, maybe more. You're starting to feel that lull as far as energy levels, and you're thinking about a nap. It might be the exact pick-me-up you need, but how good are naps for you anyway? Dr. Cheryl Ziegler is here with us to talk about naps. They always sound great, but you got to be able to get in and get out of a nap. That's the hard part for many.
Yes, that's true. So power napping is when you sleep anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes at a time. And I have been doing this for a long time. It is doable. So, you lay there and truly, I set my alarm, and if you do it for no more than 30 minutes, you don't go into a deep enough sleep so that you don't wake up groggy. So you truly wake up like in a light, it's like a very deep rest or a light sleep.
So it kind of clears your head. It's really kind of the thing and gives your body some time to rejuvenate.
Yeah, it helps with, your cognition, so your thinking skills. It helps with being more patient. It helps with irritability. It helps with your mood. It helps with a lot of things. And I know people think, oh, I couldn't do that. But truly, with some practice, you can. And really, it's the creativity part. So if you wake up at 6 a.m., at about 2 to 3 in the afternoon, most adults start to feel that lull. And that's when they grab the coffee. Right? So this is the alternative to grabbing the coffee. This is more restorative.
I've always been a big fan of the siesta. Some cultures, this is actually part of culture.
Yes.
And I always thought this is a great idea for me. The only time I really get to nap now is when Kathy's doing the weather. But does it work for everyone? Is it something that, that one size fits all as far as naps?
I think that the data says, particularly for adults, it really does. It also works, interestingly, for both groups of people. People who are sleep deprived and even, 7 to 9 hours is the recommended amount of sleep. At least a third of Americans do not get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So it's also a way to rejuvenate yourself when you're sleep deprived. So just the assumption that most people are sleep deprived, it's really beneficial. It's also beneficial. There's amazing stats around your cardiac health. There's stats around living longer. If you have diabetes, if you have high blood pressure, there's a lot of also physical health data to say that it helps you live longer because overall it's really restorative when we live in such a high stress world.
I've always said, when you're in preschool and kindergarten and they tell you it's nap time and you're like, no. And then the rest of your life you crave it.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
The rest of your life. But I do think that if you can carve the time out, that's what I think a lot of people struggle. And if you were like to nap too late in the day, it probably messes with your sleep cycle.
Yes, that's the one thing that sleep specialists will say is you have to see what works for you. Maybe a 4 o'clock nap is too late and you say, well, now I'm not going to sleep as much. So you really want to figure that out. It really is about 8 hours after you wake up. So each one of us wake up at a different time.
Okay.
So do the 8-hour thing and don't go past 30 minutes. And even if the first time you try it, if you lay there and you didn't feel like you fell into a sleep, that's okay.
Get up.
You still went into a deep rest.
Yeah. I always
think that's beneficial too.
The healthiest things that you can really do, you can affect your own life with, involve exercise, diet, and sleep. And exercise and diet are hard, so I'll just do the sleep one.
Yes,
me too.
There you go.
I'll choose door number 3.
Yes.
Sign us up.
Plenty of people are doing a great job excising and dieting. I think they've got it covered. I'll do the sleep part.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to try it.
Try it.
Start trying it, at least on a weekend.
I put a sleep mask on too, like an eye pillow almost.
Oh, so you tune out all noise.
So you budget for this in your day. Not everyone has that time.
Yes.
It's in the middle of their day when you say you hit about 8 hours. That may not be doable for them.
I want to tell you that I started when I was a young mom, and I did it about 11 a.m. One time I overslept picking up from preschool. But I started really then when I was exhausted, and now I do it as just being restorative and more creative, honestly, in the afternoon.
And now you have a new puppy, so it's like being a new mom.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Puppies are
Fun
good at
times.
napping. And not at 4 o'clock, because you're supposed to be watching our show.
Right. Not during the weather either.
Well,
that's kind of insulting, Tom.
I know. I think Kathy's going to be a little hot on me. Speaking of Kathy, she's coming along with the weather. Dr. Ziegler, it's always good to see you. Thanks.